Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing great this morning wherever you are in this beautiful world. Hope that you've got something fun planned for you today. This is your day. Take care of yourself and do something that brings you joy and happiness. And thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us every morning and just chatting about things that are of interest to women in their 60s like us. And I welcome your comments always and your feedback. So please always feel free. But thank you for being here. Now I've got my cup of tea this morning. I've got lemon, actually it's a chamomile tea. And I like chamomile at night sometimes, but I also like it in the morning. It's a kind of a wake up tea for me. So anyway, I've got a cup of nice chamomile tea. Whatever you've got, coffee, tea, juice, just enjoy it. Just sit back and relax for a bit. And I want to talk to you about something that just may be of interest to you. It certainly has been to me over the years. But I first of all would like to thank our sponsor. It's Puritan's Pride. Now, as you said, we take a big interest in healthy living here at 60 and Me. And you can visit Puritan's Pride to learn more about how giving your body the love and nutrition it needs to thrive. So I hope that you check out their website. They've got some great products. Now, the topic I want to talk to you about today is lonely moments. I'm not going to call it loneliness. I'm going to call it lonely moments that we have in our lives. They come and go. We all have them. And one of our bloggers, Ann Crowther, wrote this article about ways to keep yourself occupied during these lonely moments. And, if you're feeling very depressed and very lonely, that's a different thing. But these are just those moments where you think, I've been comparing myself unconsciously to all those people on Facebook that are having a fabulous time with their lives, and I'm kind of struggling with something here. And, our perfect lives don't exist, right? Except in books and fantasy. But we do tend to sometimes get a little hard on ourselves and think that we have to be perfect, and we don't. We know this. But Anne actually talks about this being something that affects people as they get a little older because, we've talked about friends and family are changing their dynamic as we get older. Friends are leaving the country or leaving town, moving on somewhere or passing away, unfortunately. And the contextual relationships that we had when we had children or work environment, that's changed. And our children if we have children of our own, they're doing their own thing. They're building their own lives, having their own children and family, and making plans for their future. And so everything's changed. And so there's moments where we are more alone, perhaps, in our 60s than earlier generations or earlier decades. So the thing about these experiences that can happen is it's really good to start planning in advance. Even if doing charity work or doing volunteer work isn't your thing, it really can help to have a backup for somewhere to go and be involved, have a sense of purpose and importance as you get a little older. Go to the gym. Go to yoga classes. A lot of communities now have them free of charge, and they're just wonderful to to enjoy the opportunity. So get out there and do stuff, and prepare for moments that you feel lonely. Don't find yourself one morning waking up and thinking, I'm feeling pretty lonely here and having no options. So that's an important thing. So here's some things. Anne talks about doing your own thing. If you don't see anything out there that's your thing, make it happen. Start a meetup group. If you like, books, join a book club or start your own book club. As you know, I think I've told you about this before. I started a train lovers group for people in my town who love trains or travel on trains. And every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks, we go out on a trip and we just go to somewhere local, a couple of hours journey, and just have lunch and chat. And we all have a train story to tell. So you can be as specific as that or more general, like just people that like to travel, and just start a meetup group. And you can have even a group for women over 60. See what happens. Lots of people have tried that, so it's worth having a go. Finding like-minded people. Technology is here to help us. You can do this, with a little bit of effort, and it just makes it personal. You can do your own thing. Now, if you're housebound, a lot of our folks, unfortunately, are dealing with mobility issues or sickness or caregiving. They're caregiving. They're either their parents or children in their family, so they're kind of homebound. This is where the internet can be your friend. Now, you can do things like, of course, watch games, and we have a games section on our 60andMe website. You can watch movies. You can, research travel, play, and go virtually. I mean, Google is amazing. You can actually go to a town and, zoom in and experience the town. And so many people now are doing reviews of cities and cruises, so you can kind of go along with them. I know it's not the same, and I know it's not perfect, but it's a way of taking that time when you're having to be at home. You can browse for fashion, go online, look at clothes, look at things. You don't have to buy anything, just sort of enjoy the experience. Music's another thing. I love music, so I listen to it a lot. But Anne actually gives us 6 really good sort of suggestions for getting going if you're feeling one of these lonely moments. Now, we're going to repeat a couple of things here, but first is join an organization that interests you. Just do it. Just join something, anything. You can also join an organization that doesn't interest you, but sounds interesting. Maybe you'll develop an interest. Second is to volunteer. Volunteer to help someone. There's so many causes now. And, women in our 60s, we were the voices of the past, in the sense we stood up for causes that we believed in. And even if we get involved in things that we don't agree with, it gives us a good perspective on the reality of our world. And I think it's keeping that open-mindedness that's very, very powerful. Another thing is to find some activity you would enjoy. I mean, obviously don't do things that you don't enjoy, but if you like knitting, there's knitting groups online. If you like reading, as I said with books, there's plenty of reading online groups and also in-person groups. So do something that you love. Another thing that Anne reminds us, stay active. Whatever you do, I know it's hard sometimes. It's almost like, when you're not feeling very well, like you're not feeling, energized and you're a little bit lonely, you don't feel like getting up and going out. It's one of those catch-22s. If you can get out, go for a walk, go to the gym. If you've got a free workout class, maybe jazzercise isn't too expensive, but do something that gets you moving. And as I said, you can stand in your living room and dance to your heart's content and no one will mind. Just do something to keep active and moving. Another thing that Anne mentions, which I think is super important, and that's to meet people who are different than you. Now, I know this is challenging in our time because we're a little bit polarized in our beliefs about certain things, but if you can meet someone that has a different point of view and get to know them and understand their situation and what they're doing, that would be really interesting, I think, to switch your mind to another channel. Just get yourself thinking about things from a different lens, with different glasses on. So that's another thing. And of course, this is the final one of the 6 that, of course, I love doing this, and I know many of you do too, and that's talk to people anywhere. In the coffee line, in the grocery store, in the where you're buying furniture or where you're looking at clothes, just turn around and there's always going to be someone that you can chat with for a few minutes. On the bus, on the train. I've had some of the best conversations ever just on trains. Just somebody sits down with you and, if they respect, if they don't want to talk, of course. But most people don't mind for a few minutes. And you can just have a great time getting to know a new person. So that's another thing to do in these moments of a little bit of loneliness. So I hope that's been useful. I actually, as I've been reading this, I'm thinking already things that I would like to do. So it's really cool to remind myself sometimes. But anyway, I do hope that you enjoy these chats and you get something out of them. If you've got any thoughts or ideas, please let us know. And I also, by the way, wanted to mention our Patreon channel. We started a channel, it's a kind of a smaller community of people who are able to make a small donation to 60andMe, $1 or $3 a month or whatever you can afford. And it helps us to do the things that we want to do with 60andMe, to keep bringing you this content and these videos. And at the same time, you find yourself in a smaller group of women, maybe at 600 now, who are chatting in a just more personal way, a little bit more private. And then, of course, I publish exclusive videos that no one else sees, and we just have a nice conversation there. So if you are interested, it's patreon.com/60andme. Let me know if you're interested. I can give you the details. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out there and have fun. Do something really cool. And if you're having a lonely moment today, try one of those things that Anne mentioned. I really hope that you have a great day, everybody. And tell us, how do you deal with lonely moments as a woman in your 60s? If you're feeling a little bit lonely, how do you deal with those lonely moments as a woman over 60? I look forward to your comments. I love reading your comments. Leave them in the section below. Give each other virtual hugs if someone's down, and tell us how you deal with lonely moments. Look forward to reading everything. Okay, everybody, well, take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.